Hello.
And we are back. Hello, hello.
Hello,
How are you
everyone.
doing?
I'm doing good, Sally. I'm doing really, really good. About yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Since 2 days we have some sunshine here. I'm just hearing an echo. Like,
No, I can't. Oh, is it me? Is it? I can't
no,
hear
no,
an
no, no.
echo.
It's not you. Now it's gone. I don't know.
Gone. Okay. All right. Not. Let's not have any more
Yeah,
headphone drama like the Tuesday.
yeah, yeah. Every time there's something going on. Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm
How
doing
is
good. I tell you
everything?
what. Since I have been obsessed over the last 2 days with Kate Bush, right, and Wuthering Heights. I saw it at the
Oh
weekend at
yeah,
cinema.
yeah,
Right, it's a really good film. Go and watch it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic. But yeah, I just can't get the song out of my head. So I must have listened to it probably since our last live stream. I kid you not, maybe two,
Yeah.
300 times. So it's just constantly in my head, right? So
Yeah.
it's a great, great song. And I loved it back in the 70s,
Yeah.
rather 80s.
Yeah.
And I've just kind of fallen back in love with it. It's just like that's music has that power, I think.
Nice, nice, nice. Like that was one of
Anyway,
the yeah, yeah. Anyway, I can talk like maybe we should
yeah,
do another one as a
yes.
podcast or something about the literature and cinema and art forms and everything.
Yeah. So welcome everyone to Fullstack
Yeah.
for Noobs, where Sally and myself, we're building a game called the Kiro Quest Challenge, which we're hopefully going to be using at the AWS booths that you might see over the coming year. So I think this is the ninth episode of
Oh,
the
this is
show.
a 10th one. Actually, I miscalculated at one
Really? Oh,
point.
10.
This is a
Wow, we've had
10th
10 episodes. It's
episode.
going so quick.
Yeah.
And Tobias, welcome back. Thank you for all your interaction so far, and I hope Stockholm is lovely and sunny today.
Yeah.
It's
I
nice
mean,
and
he's
sunny here.
from Germany, so it's an
Of course,
upgrade for him. It's an
that's
upgrade
right.
for him anyway.
Yeah. Well, of course, we're named like Tobias. It's a good, solid Austrian name, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then the first few episodes, Sally was building the front end. The last couple of episodes, we've been focused and switched to the back end, and that's where we are today. Literally, we finished doing the back end. We finished making sure the APIs were ready, and so hopefully today we'll wrap all that up. But Sally, okay,
Yeah.
as is always the way, right?
Yeah.
Since the last episode, we've again every episode we've not made any changes to the code. And that's really hard, right? It's a lot harder
Yeah.
when these AI coding tools are giving you those dopamine hits,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably I don't know about you, Sally, but this is the hardest thing to stop to take a break from it, right?
It was really hard. It was
It's
really hard.
hard.
Like, yeah, luckily I have like 6, 7, or no, not six, but like, let's say,
Yes, it is. It's 6, 7, 6, 7.
yeah, 6, 7 different projects that I'm working on. So like, I can find something that would definitely make me more, like, make me occupied. But when I was doing front end, it was really, really hard.
Yeah, and I have as well, actually. So here's the thing.
Mm.
So I'm not sure. I would love to see what other people are doing, but I'm not sure. Did I share what I was working on last time? Since Tuesday, I've
Yeah.
built myself a new tool. I'm going to show
Oh,
you what my new
nice,
tool is, right? So this is a
nice.
completely separate to. Let's have a look. Is it on Chrome? Let's have a look. Chrome. Yeah. So this is what I've been working on. So effectively, everyone needs a mind map tool, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to build my own that works exactly the way I want it to work.
Oh
And
my God.
I've
Is this right now your mind map?
no, well, yeah. So I'm doing one. I'm doing one on AI coding assistants,
Yeah.
right? So I thought what I do is I start mapping it out, and it's. I mean, this probably took all of about half an hour to build.
Yeah.
But again, like using all the techniques we've learned so far in this series, right? It's kind of like doing things piecemeal. So I can save this thing, I can export it, I can I've got a view only mode, so I can just like view it on my mobile device, and I can share it with people. And I kind of thought, what do I need? Because they talk about AI coding assistants being a
Yeah.
threat to SaaS businesses, right?
Yeah.
Well, I used to use the kind of the very common SaaS solutions to do this, right? And I don't use them anymore. I just built my own one. So I think this is what I'm finding, and what I've got a little set of tools I'm building, which I
Yeah.
run on a pair of clustered Raspberry Pis on my home network. and I run them locally. And that way, I've got a little menu. If I
Yeah.
want bookmarks,
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to show you something else as well. Actually, I'm going to show you. This is we should have more of these show and tells. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to share bookmark manager. This is a bit more. So you know, I don't know about you, Sally. Every day I'm reading things, and how do you kind of keep a track of it, right? So normally we use a lot of different mechanisms, right? I've always been a bookmark fan,
Yeah.
and so what I do is effectively I track bookmarks, right? So these are all the bookmarks that I have read. I categorize them, but then I thought, you know what? Actually, what I want to do is I actually want to share these with people. So again, I literally got the API from Dev2. I think yesterday. I did this all yesterday, and I basically create a little generator. I can select, for example, let's say the last few days, and I can generate effectively a blog post, right, of all the things that I've been looking at,
Nice.
and then I can post it. So I can click on post, and it's going to post it to Dev2, right, including like things like a cover image and all that kind of stuff. And again, this took all of about 15 minutes to do, right? And this is how I now manage manage my knowledge and share my knowledge, right? Because I think there's a couple of things there. So I think, you know, let's have it. We should do another stream, right? So like what we vibe coding this week kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, is it a like Chrome tool kind of thing, or is
no?
it?
No, it's a Flask app. That's it. It is because
Okay.
But you know what? Here's the thing. It's a Flask app, but I'm going to build a Chrome extension.
Yeah.
Because I do everything API first, right? So because I've defined all the APIs, I could just create the Chrome extension to post bookmarks directly from the browser session, right?
Yeah.
And then it can pop me up for like the metadata as well from there, right? So. So but you know, these are things that I think if you think about in the past, we probably managed these things in different ways. Now these tools allow you to manage them the way you want, right? And so you can be very specific. I don't need all the features, you know, that you get from my mapping tools. I need a subset of them, right? I need something simple. And yeah, so what about you? Have you been working on anything interesting?
I started to actually rebuild my personal website recently, and let me show that as well. Like,
let's show it. Come on, because you are a bit of a front end whiz. So I'm expecting big things from this, Ali.
Yeah, it's a very simple one, but I will showcase what I have done. Before we move forward, I also want to share one thing. Like, I'm going to share the link with you all now that recently I started to cut the episodes and clean those up and everything. So if you are in YouTube, you can find a playlist with like that is called like Fullstack for Noobs with Ricardo Sueras, which is the name of this very handsome gentleman that is accompanying me. And like,
you say all the right things, Ali.
So like every 2 days I'm going to release a part of the episode, so you can have a continuous learning experience as well in case you missed the first episodes of how we were thinking and so on. Today the second episode was out, so you can check it out as well. And anyway, like let me show you what I built. Like, I built an Astro website because I wanted to have a very let me remove any sensitive information that might be around because I want to show my full screen.
The new danger, right? Yeah. Someone shared a repo with me, right? And they obviously their get ignore all was just not quite accurate, so I ended up getting their API keys for a couple of the websites. So remember, folks, in this new world we're at, okay, make sure you have good solid git ignore, and also cursor ignore, there's Docker ignore, all the ignores, right? Find out what they are.
All the ignores, please.
All the ignores.
Yeah. So
here we should go to a website, alltheignores.com.
Yeah, exactly. you remember, like, you're absolutely right thing that someone actually built a website that is counting how many times Cloud said you are absolutely right to them. It is more or less the same thing.
Right. You know what? I actually use that in one of my talks. Like, so you know, in the Stack Overflow days, we were always told you're shit, you're wrong. Excuse my language, but you know, you're talking rubbish. And we've gone from Stack Overflow's "you're always wrong" to the beautiful word of Claude and others, which is where we're always right. Okay.
Exactly, exactly, and it's super easy to
Oh,
go
okay.
crazy.
So this
So
is it. This is looking good, man.
yeah, this is a very minimalistic that I really wanted to do minimalistic anyway. A website
Yeah.
where like you can see code snippets and everything in place. I built this with Astro, and
Right.
it has, for example, like the career part as well. I put my CV in it, and it actually just added
Nice.
everything with the timeline and so on, and like
Oh, that's
top
really cool,
videos.
man.
Like,
Love
I
it.
didn't edit yet.
And have you put this up on a repo? Is this available for people to look at and copy?
Not yet, because I'm not done here yet, but there are some really nice templates that people can use as well. One of them is, I think, called Astro Nano or something, so they can check out on GitHub as well from someone else. What I did was I actually have this checklist here. I don't have a
Okay.
video. Let me move us down.
So you're using Astro's MCP server, are you, to build this?
Exactly. I have the Astro docs here.
Right.
And what I said, like, I want to build a website with Astro. Here are the things that I want. I should have used Spec, but I didn't. I wanted to move fast. So I had like, it should have blog, social media links. One of the important point is, of course, like being accessible and SEO friendly, and light, dark themes and so on. And there's like RSS, basically whatever you would expect. And in its first try, I think it did a good job, but it took so much time because it was constantly communicating with the MCP server.
Yeah.
And it was really annoying. Then later on, like we continued from where we left off. Then I added some features like the image support and everything, and the markdown showcase is very important as well. And I love how Astro works. For the people who don't know it, Astro is like great for text heavy content that you have. You can use the markdown format to create whatever you want to show, whatever you are creating as a content.
So how does it differ to something like Hugo, which is a static site generator? Is it more like, is it more code heavy than the sort of pure static site generators, or is it a combination of both?
I mean, I think it's a combination of both. However, with Hugo and so on, you don't have support for server-side rendering and everything, if I'm not mistaken. But with this, you have like server-side rendering support and everything in place as well. And
how
you
would you
can
use
see that
server-side rendering in a site like this? What are you specifically rendering? That's customizable for people viewing it.
I think the biggest part is like heavy things like images and so on, right? Like you don't want to package things that you don't want to use. So you will not be
optimized image
showcasing anyway.
sizes.
Exactly. It already has an optimized image approach. So in case you have the assets here, for example, it will work out fine. However, in here, I wouldn't use server-side rendering for this anyway. But like, for example, in case for the download button of the CV, I wouldn't package this normally inside my app, but I would have just packaged this into either S3 or something, and people can download it directly.
So when you want to put a new piece of content on there, you're creating effectively in the content blog directory, you're literally creating a front matter markdown document with a few other bits and pieces, and that's it.
Exactly. You actually start off by basically writing everything in the markdown format, whatever you need. Then you actually, since this is, you can see that
special tags. I see you're including CSS there. So is that because you then have to you can include HTML snippets in as well?
You can exactly. It's up to you. Generally, it understands everything about Markdown, but in case you want to embed it, for example, YouTube video or something, you are still available. You are still able to do whatever you need to do as well. That's really great, I have to say. And of course, everything is in, let's say, natural language per se. So you can just use as if you're writing a content anywhere. One thing that was really important to me was to being able to create something very SEO friendly, because one of the problems of course, I'm not expecting this to be as SEO optimized as Dev2 or like Medium or something else, or like whatever it is. But I still want this to be able to show the work that I want
totally.
show
Right.
as
well. That's awesome. I love it. So we've kind of gone down a bit of a rabbit hole. So let's
all right.
Let's get back on track.
Let me stop it. All right.
So let's share my screen again.
Yeah.
And get back to Kiro.
Yeah.
And get back to the application. Now, since the last time we spoke on Tuesday, which wasn't that long ago, I had a look. I was looking at the data model, right, which we generated, the ERD, the enterprise relationship diagram. And I noticed something that didn't seem quite right. and that was basically around the kind of if we think about the flow of the game, right? We have an event. An event has many games. A game effectively has a player, and we've captured some information about player. But the game at the moment, we reference question bank ID, right? And then this can basically kind of like it kind of felt a bit weird because so here's the thing, right? So for an event, we're going to have 3 different languages, as in like Java, TypeScript, and Python. And then we're going to have, and that's for more for the coding questions. We've got 3 levels of difficulty, right? And we've got, I think, 32 total tiles, right? So there's a lot of questions there, right? And so each question bank has to have enough questions so that when you do the filters, you get 32 relevant questions, okay? And I thought, and then I thought for the game, all we're doing is we're capturing the question bank. So for any one game, we kind of need to capture for that game which questions were selected. So we don't want question bank, we want questions. Does that make sense?
I mean,
because otherwise it's stateless, right? Because what will happen is that the logic will disappear, and I'm worried that we would, every time the player, let's say for example the front or the state changes, we'll just have a pointer to a question bank, and maybe that's okay, maybe that's all we need, I don't know. I wanted to kind of think about that before we kind of plowed on. I mean, maybe it's okay, right? Because the question bank, we're still filtering from the front end, right? Because we've got the APIs to filter. So maybe actually it's not. Maybe it's a non-issue, right? But I wanted to think about that because I don't know how from the front end how easy it is to do that. But obviously we've created the APIs. So actually let's have a look at that. Control P, browser show. Oh, actually I haven't started the server yet. So let's do the P run. I'll make sure that works.
Then, like, just for me to understand that, do you also then aim to eliminate the logic of the question banks then to keep everything question oriented, so we can have like the filters toward through these categories? Okay.
So I mean that I guess that's the thing, right? That's the potential. Is that does that mean that the idea of question banks is actually relevant? But then I thought maybe we still want to use question banks as a construct, because question bank still allows us to kind of like just select a bunch of questions, right? Not all the questions.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay for the moment. But I think because we've got the I was thinking it more from the point of view of the APIs, right? That we'll be calling. So we've got all the event APIs, and then we've got the game flow. And get player IDs, and then we've got the questions, API questions, and we can filter, filtering programming and difficult. So I think this API itself, right? If we look at the actual the model, okay, we can see that we should be able to get everything we want, but on the front end we'll have to basically use the information we get from the player session to make sure that we get the right questions. And I guess the one thing that I was thinking is that where are we managing the tile board state, right? So we've got the game, right? So we've got a game of tiles, right? A game board. How are we knowing which question is assigned to which tile, right? So this is the thing that we don't have at the moment. So I think this is why I was thinking about yes, we've got a game, but the game has got a board, and the board has got the questions, right? So do you see what I'm saying? Is that a game has the game board, the game board, and the game board is using the question bank. But let's say, for example, I guess from turn to turn, let's say, for example, the user refreshes the screen, right? How are we going to ensure that every tile has the same
is in the right place?
Yeah, or maybe we don't care. Maybe we actually don't care the fact that when you click on a tile, it's going to generate a question at the time of when you're clicking on the tile. Maybe that's okay. So I guess what I'm saying, Sally, there's two ways we could do this, right? We can pre-generate every question on the board before, as part of the game starts, right? Or we do that dynamically as the player is playing.
Dude, I think we are talking about multiple problems here. Like all of them are valid, but like I want to start from the last and go to the first one.
Okay.
And like, so the refresh mechanisms, I already like in my opinion, if an attendee refreshes a question, so refreshes the game, they're done. They lose their chance, they lose their
Oh,
time,
right, okay.
whatever it is. Yeah.
So we can't do refreshes. We have to lock refresh.
No, like if we can, but like, in my opinion, we shouldn't. The game is simple. Just follow the rule of the games. And if
I know, but the pressing F5 accidentally on a keyboard can be done, right? So
I would say, yeah, it sucks to be them, So
I love working. You are ruthless, Sally. I love it. Yeah, I'm with you. With you.
Right? Oh my god, sorry. So
it's good.
Like from my point of view, the game state. So we talked about the front end states and so on, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the board should be already defined, and the game board state needs to be saved in the front end side. So the questions per session per attendee. So for example, you go in, you write like Rixu entered, and immediately there should be a board with a tag, your username, and then with your username, if you refresh and let's say you enter the same username again, then you get from where you left off. The local state of where you left off is by us. Yeah. Tobias is like, yeah, you're either in or out. Yeah. Exactly.
This
is not a game. Even though this is a game, this is not a game.
Okay. So again, that's good though. So basically, from the React side, we can manage the tile board and the state that way. So that's fine. Yeah, exactly. In which case, then we're probably done then, which means that we've got everything we need, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so that's good. So I'm going to go back to the issues log. That is actually not an issue. That's not an issue, right?
Yeah.
So that's okay, right? So we'll get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Now we did talk about.
What do you think of pre-generating like every question on the board and send?
I don't think
to the user.
I don't think we need it, right? And I think if it's going to add cycles, I don't think we should use it, right? Yeah. But one thing we do need to make sure is that once a tile has been played, that tile is no longer playable, right? So it doesn't generate. I think what I mean is that once a question has been selected, we need a way, right, to make sure it's not duplicated. So I don't think we can. The logic can't be go and do a search for the API, right? It has to pre-calculate what the questions are first. So create an array or something, right? And then select from that array, and then delete it as questions are. So I think we have to do some logic like that, because otherwise we'll end up in a situation where the player might get asked the same question multiple times, right? So, but that's okay. That's an easy problem to solve, right?
Yeah.
So that's all right. So I think that's okay.
I think that can be also solved in either side of the story. So I think we're good with that one.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, one thing we didn't do though, we didn't actually test the application from the point of view of the other questions. So all the questions so far were just general knowledge, right? We didn't try multiple choice. So which is the best color?
I thought you were going to write cloud. I was going to say we can't do that.
So the correct answer is purple.
Yeah.
What does Kiro like? And then we can have purple, red, green. What's your favorite color, Sally?
Blue.
Good choice. Okay, so let's save that and let's test the question. Let's test question, multiple choice. Okay. Now the logic we had, was that when you do hint, it's supposed to remove one of the correct option, or one of the incorrect options.
Yeah.
So okay, that's done that, right? Wrong answer removed. One wrong answer removed. Remaining options. Okay, so let's do
What
blue.
happens if you click on the hint multiple times?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, good.
Good. State is managed. So let's do blue. Wrong answer. Correct answer equals purple. Oh, that's not good. Because again, what we had a configuration option, show correct answer on wrong. So let's turn that off. And let's do the test question again. And let's do green. And this time it hasn't given us. So we've tested that ability. And then so now, okay, it's working okay. So we've tested that question, okay. And then the last question is the coding question. We haven't tested the coding question. So coding, easy. Now this is going to be I think we had it from the prompt doc. So let's have a look in the prompt doc, whereby we've got easy question. So here we go. Let's copy that. Oh, but I can't copy and paste in this browser, can I? What I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly go into a different browser and do that in a different browser so that we can get that added quickly. So let's have a look. Add question, new question, code, and then that way we can bring it up, because I wanted to make sure that it worked. It works okay, so that we because at the moment we've made assumptions on that, right? We've made assumptions that so the correct answer. So where is it? So the correct answer is result S1 minus S2. Sample input. Actually, hidden input is that sample input is that, and then hidden input is this one, and we can put the hint of the input is this one here. This is the hint. Oh no, that's the one that's there. Okay, let's leave that there. And it's all very confusing, but what we're doing, okay, this is all the logic from the first. Oops, let's get rid of the quotes. So when we got the questions from the original Q Developer Challenge from last year. So in theory, input. Okay, so input. Okay, we go. Do this there. So let's save that now, and we can now go into the browser. Oh, there we go.
with the port
7.0.1.5001 test questions. Select coding question, and say result equals. Oh yeah, let's do hint. Let's do. Okay, that's just text. That's fine. Simple input, expected output. Right. Okay, that's fine. That's wrong. That's okay. I'm not worried about that at the moment because I've just done the thing wrong. So let's do the correct question. Actually, let's do wrong one first. Submit. One or more tests fail. Hint test and hidden test. Now let's do the right one. Should work. Oh, hidden test worked, but hint test failed.
Okay. No hint available.
Yeah, that's why. So let's just go to the test questions again and edit them. Because obviously we want to make sure that this works, right? So hint, sample, hint. Oh yeah, okay. So let's get that from the prompt. So let's have a look.
In case you don't see something, yes.
Yeah,
you are not supposed to see it right now.
Yes, exactly. So right, that should fix the problem, right? So let's try doing that question again. Submit. It should work this time for both.
Should we refresh that? No. Oh, nice.
So work. So obviously what this is doing, the code that's doing in the background, which we looked at, is the evaluation, the services, the evaluator, and it's using Agent Core to do the where is it? The code. Here we go. So effectively run client code, player code, test input, and expected output. So effectively, this is what it's doing. It's effectively building effectively a Python function and running that. So this is basically what it's doing, right? It's expecting output, and then it's effectively running that in Agent Core. And because Agent Core is managing the sandbox, it means it's okay. We're completely sandboxed. But as we talked about last time, so here's the evaluating the code, right? And as you can see, that was quick, right? That was really, really quick. How quickly that did the evaluation, which is what you don't want it any slower than that, right? When you're doing this, because if I do an incorrect answer, let's do that. 1, 2. Okay, I mean that's not bad, right? Latency wise, I think that's acceptable, right? Hint. Okay, I didn't put a hint, so that's why we haven't had a hint there. So, but what we need to do is we need to figure out how to do this so it works for all programming language, right? Right. And so that's the challenge we now need to figure out how to get Kiro to help us fix, right? So so we need to basically we need to think about what prompt. So I'm not sure this is the right prompt. It's not an issue, right? I just put it here as a placeholder. So let's remove that from there and go open the prompt.
Can you remove the line 13 as well in the previous one, because it was a duplicated line as well, line 13?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Actually, and that as well. Okay. Well spotted. Didn't see that.
Humans, man. Humans.
Yeah. Now, where is the evaluation code? Right. So here we go. All right. So this is the current evaluation prompt piece, okay? And I've specified it for use Amazon Bedrock Agent Core runtime, right? So I think what we need to do is keep the same prompt, but now use containers. Okay, and then what we probably want to add some additional details, right? So when creating container images for coding test evaluation, make sure you use optimized base images for the 3 different programming languages used, so Java, TypeScript, and Python. Speed of startup, so latency is critical. So I think that's just basically making sure that it doesn't try and it focused on the Docker file basically being optimized. And I'm running locally. I'm running Finch, which is
what is Finch? Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I'm gonna need to update it. Oh no way. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do so Finch is effectively, for those people who are new to containers, or maybe are only familiar with Docker as the one tool to use on Macs. Typically, from a development perspective, you would use Docker Desktop, and it's a nice GUI tool that allows you to basically manage containers in the Mac OS. But since the beginning of last year, Docker changed the licensing model for that. So I switched to Finch because AWS produced an open source version of that for running on Mac, Linux, and Windows machines. And so effectively, it's just a container runtime tool. So I can effectively, and it's Docker command compliant, so I can build, tag, push container images. And typically, it's just swapping out the Docker command for Finch, right? Because this is an internal tool, I'm going to have to. Oh, this is tricky. I'm going to have to do this. Okay, it's not going to. Okay, I'm going to use my. Okay, right. Okay, so now I have to do basically. Is it build a box?
But like for Finch, people can use Finch as well, right?
Yeah, and so it's open source. That's why I love it, right? It's open source. And what I now need to do is I need to do the build. where is it? I have to do a toolbox update. So I'm going to do toolbox. It shouldn't take too long to do that. And it's good. This is an internal tool that we created. I'm going to hide that. But it's an internal tool that we have that effectively allows us to make sure all our internal builder tools are up to date. And so Finch is one of them. So I have and Finch. Actually, I'm going to open up another. If I do Docker ps-a, what I've done is I've linked effectively Docker Finch as a command to Docker as an alias. So even though I've run Docker as a command, it's just basically doing a substitution to Finch, right? So I don't have Docker. You can actually see in my environment variables, I have where is it? Where is my Docker? Where is it? Yeah, so I've got basically, so here I've got the daemon for Docker, effectively Docker host, is set to my Finch process ID. So this one here, and this is required because a lot of commands will look for this environment variable to know actually how to interact with Docker, right? So effectively you can use Finch as a substitute for Docker, basically. Let's make sure that's all working okay. It's installing still tools, but let's have a look at maybe it's still going to work. Yeah, actually it's working. So running. So just running the tool is enough to keep get Finch running. It's running, but I don't have any containers running okay at the moment. So I'm going to basically, but I am going to say I am using Finch instead of Docker. And the reason why I say that, okay, is that Docker's got one command, which is buildx, that isn't supported on Finch. So if what can sometimes happen is that when Docker, or when you create scripts for containerization, it might use some Docker specific commands. Do not use Docker specific unique commands like buildx. Okay. So I'm trying to think what else we need. So yeah, I think that should be it. So basically I'm going to basically put that into the prompt. Okay. So currently the coding evaluator logic is using agent core. Let's have a look at the code again, just so I got the reference. The evaluator. So it's using code interpreter sandbox. Code interpreter sandbox. Evaluator.py line 141 onwards. Always help your LLM if you can. I need to change this as agent core code interpreter only supports Python. Please use the following instructions to update. So this is going to be interesting to see how whether this absolutely butchers the evaluation logic, because obviously we're going to need to do regression tests and all that. So although we have no tests yet, do we? So that's the thing with vibe coding, right? We've gone down the road of not doing any so let's have a look. Which Finch? Okay, so is it going to do? Okay, which Finch should pick it out correctly? Okay, yeah, toolbox. That's working okay. Okay, it's all finished. So yeah, we've updated to 1.15 on Finch. So I'm going to get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so which version? Now there is an MCP server Finch as well, actually, which I have configured. Right, so that's the other thing I've done. I have configured, and this is really good because it allows Kiro, and actually you can obviously use this in any tool. Allows you to then have the latest documentation for Finch. So M1 architecture detected, installing Arch64 package. Okay, interesting. Why is it installing that? I wonder. Okay, interesting. It's already installed, so why is it trying to install something? Okay. Okay. Right. So let's just. I'm gonna come out of that. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop control. Okay.
Yeah.
Finch is installed but needs initialization. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think it does. Okay. So I think it's probably because it thinks if you're using Finch for the first time, you do need to initialize it for the first time, but we've already got it running, so we shouldn't need to do that. So I think that's just, again, these LLMs aren't perfect, so you, again, as a developer, you got to watch out for these things, right? It doesn't always get everything right. It's your job to know what doesn't make sense and what you can skip.
So here's the question. Right now we are eliminating the agent core evaluator thing. What are we going to use to evaluate the code? What do you envision? Like, are we going to use basic LLMs to make this work?
So no, so it's quite straightforward, right? So the logic at the moment, so the only thing we're using Bedrock Agent Core for is actually a runtime. Okay, so what we're doing is we're passing in the success criteria, okay, and then we're asking it just run this code and tell us if it provides the correct hidden and hint input outputs, right? So effectively, you know, we could run it in a process, right, in a thread, okay, but as we mentioned last time, okay, if we do that, all it's going to do is take one person to basically do a command that can completely, you know, delete all your message or all your files, right? As we saw, you know, last few weeks with OpenClaw, you know, and either, you know, deleting all your messages or whatever, right? So effectively, think about it as this, right? You have a container or three containers, okay? One for Python, one for TypeScript, one for Java, and they're just there running, okay? And what you're using this within the code, you're effectively executing out of the Python code to run something in a container, and then you're returning the output of that container. So effectively, all we're doing is having a container that contains one of those three programming languages. I mean, we could create one container that has all three, but the problem is that then if we did that, then those containers are going to be bigger. The startup time is going to be longer, and we know straight away, okay, what's going to happen. Okay, so effectively, think of it as a you know, within the evaluation function, we pass in the question, the question, what the correct answers we expect for the question. We pass in what the player has put in. We then sub to the container image. Within the container image, it uses those inputs, generates the Python function, runs, and then the return is either correct or not correct, right? And that's it. So that's the logic, right? Or at least that's how it should work. And it's okay. So it says okay, everything works. Here's what's done. Replace Agent Core interpreter with Bedrock Agent Core tools coded to a client with a container-based sandbox using Finch. Runner.py sandbox runner that executes code via Finch run. So we should have a new command now somewhere here.
Build image
called runner. It says runner.python. Where's runner Python gone? Oh, here it goes. It's in
sandbox. Yeah.
Okay. So effectively, container-based sandbox runner using Finch for secure code execution. So okay, no network access, which again we don't want, because we don't want them to do a network command to try and delete something. Non-root, again, we don't want them to basically exec out of the host. Read only, because literally we're doing only evaluations, right? So and we've got 3 images, which is perfect. And then effectively we've got again, so we've got all this. This is all to do with the configurations for those images. And then we got Finch run, and then we've got effectively run Python, and then basically we're just calling the Finch run image code standard in. So effectively we've got a function that runs the container, and we can configure different container images, right? So in theory, that's the runner, and it's got those things, and we've got some Docker files effectively in here that that configure those runtimes. So here's so it's using Alpine, So using sandbox user. So literally, it's bare bones, right?
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that we have to figure out, okay, is that because it's using 21, we need to make sure that all the questions, Java coding questions, worked with 21, rather than, you know. So that's okay. That's a constraint we can live with, right?
Yeah, I think there is something that we can also work around or like make it work as well, because sometimes people will have tendency to use the new features just for the
Yeah,
sake of
totally,
using it.
totally. The Docker version, so Python's 3.12, and then TypeScript is from Node 22, okay, which is the latest stable version, isn't it? I think, or kind of the common version. That, I mean, I'm using 22. I'm not sure what the latest version is. So that's what's going to basically, and we haven't actually got the actual containers built yet, right? So we will have to build the images. So we have this is something we're gonna have to run. Okay, so
we don't have to build all the images, right? Like
we do. Well, we don't have to build all of them, no, but we will. I mean, it shouldn't take very long because they're small images, right? So if I run the script in a different shell, so it's basically services sandbox. So source. Is it a quest services sandbox? And we've got build images. So let's do the build images and see what happens. Why is it doing that? Why is it saying installing? I don't understand that. Finch, it should just work.
But maybe like you used Finch before on this, right? So
but
that did it maybe like it mentions M1 architecture,
but it shouldn't.
So
it shouldn't. Okay, let's have a. Hang on. I think it's because it's sudo. Is it sudo? Let's make sure. Oh, it's really weird. It's actually okay. So maybe that is weird. It shouldn't have done that. But let's see what happens. What it does. Installing Art64 package. So okay, I've finally given it. I think I don't automatically when I get prompted for a password. I don't automatically like just doing that, right? So VM status. Okay.
For me, it's the opposite. If I see it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I do have to do Finch fit. So basically, that upgrade has completely trashed whatever I had before. Okay. So that's not great. But luckily, I didn't have. I regularly prune all my local container images, and again, folks, container images, they're ephemeral, so and immutable. So you should be able to build your containers from your Docker file. So I'm not stressed about those being lost, right? And actually, I think I've reclaimed something like 60 gigs of data because I had so many dangling container images on my machine, because you forget about them, right? You leave them running, and it's like I tell you what, on my machine, I the amount of virtual Python environments I've got must be horrendous, right? And they're just consuming so much space.
Yesterday I deleted like 160 gigabytes, sorry, from my device. So
so just by doing a UV cache clear, right? Right. So this is going to work now. This is going to work, right? So now we've got the container images building, and I don't think this is going to take long, right? So it could, because the images should be by definition very, very small, right? If they were large, I'd be worried, right? Because then they're not going to start quickly, right? But it does mean we have to think about when we're running this, the architecture of actually how we run it, because before, when we were doing an API call to Agent Core, it was easy. We don't have to worry about it. We can host that anywhere we want. Now we need something where we can run a containerized sandbox, right? So effectively, it's looking like we can't run this, say, for example, via Lambda. We'd have to, and we couldn't run it, for example, on Fargate. We'd have to run it on EC2 or something like that, right? But we've got our container images built, which is good.
Like why not Fargate? Sorry, like why not Fargate? Again, isn't it like container?
So what we'd have to do, okay, is we could run it through Fargate.
No.
What we'd have to do then is we'd have to update the evaluation logic so that it then would run through Fargate, okay. And so for the moment we're running everything locally. So that's the simplest way of calling it. What we'd have to do is basically package up these containers, deploy them as Fargate ECS containers, and then that way we would update the code so that the code would be able to use those containers in the same way that whether you're running locally. So we could definitely do that. We could probably try and do that, later. But
or
for the moment where we are,
app runner, like just maybe it's as simple as that. But I don't know.
Well, we can try, can't we? We can try. So let's give this a go then, right? So we've got evaluator. So let's check the evaluator logic, right? So evaluate coding using container-based sandbox execution. So global config. So we're passing the correct true, grade true, auto pass enabled, hint pass. So we're passing that information, which is good. Language equals basically. Oh, okay. It's defaulting to Python if no programming code is provided. So okay, that's interesting. We didn't ask you to do that. We didn't ask you to do that. So
I mean, you probably did in a
maybe a
hidden message, right?
Yeah. Probably it was heavily influenced by my steering files, right?
Yeah.
So then we've got the try catch block, right? Which is basically, so it's quite a big try catch blocks there. Okay, actually, what's this? Sandbox test. So that's a test for that, which is good, interesting. So what it's going to do is it's going to again set defaults for the hint passed or the hidden passed, set initially to false. If question code sample input and question code sample output, we've got that basically, and we've got effectively run the sandbox test with language, player code, question code sample input, question code sample output, right? So we've got that. So run sandbox. So this is now language, player, test input, expected output. So we're effectively then wrapping the code around that. Okay, so it's effectively it's just calling a number of functions. You define a number of functions. It basically packages up the player code in doing that. So it's similar, in fact, to how it did with the agent call in that respect. And then it's normalizing the compare. Right, so it looks okay. Let's see if it actually runs and does the same thing. So let's I'm
very curious.
Yeah. So let's oop. Okay, run. Okay, we started. Let's nope, I didn't want that there. I wanted it up here. Okay, so 27.0.0.1 5001 test questions. Okay, let's get rid of that actually. Select the coding question. So let's do result.
Let's check the hint maybe.
Okay, well that logic hasn't changed, so hopefully that should still be. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Result equals S1 minus S2, which we know is the right answer, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Look at that. Look how quick that was.
Okay.
But did it actually do anything? Let's try. Let's try the incorrect. Let's try the incorrect answer. Right. Submit. So we did actually get something here. Insecure key length warning. Interesting. That I don't know what that actually means, but we know what we've got a way we can find that out, right? So let's I'm not sure if that actually was that just for the that's when we have the incorrect. Oh, maybe it's because of the ampersand. Let's do plus. No, same thing. So wrong. Okay.
Wrong answer comes with a different warning.
Let's do S1. That worked, but it didn't actually generate the error that time. Oh no, it generates it every single time actually. So it generates every single time. So let's get Kiro on the case, right? Let's get rid of that. Okay. This seems to work. However, when we submit code, we see an error in the app log. Let's copy and paste that. Okay, can you explain what this means and whether this is something to worry about? Because not all bugs are treated equal, and maybe we could just let this one slide. But of course, we probably want to put in a TypeScript question as well, right?
Yeah.
Just to test to see if the TypeScript thing works. So this is a warning from the library. It's telling you that secret is being used to sign JWT tokens. Is shorter than 32 bytes recommended. So this must be something that's coming from maybe the container. For local developments, it's harmless. The config already reads OS environment gets secret. So setting this environment variable in production is all you need. No code change is required. Okay, so that's fine. So that's nothing we need to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm
you don't even put. No need to put that. It's not a blocker for us. I would just let it be. Yeah. I would just let it be.
Exactly. It's not a blocker for us.
No.
Hang on a sec. Is that the right? Did I actually select the? I selected the right. I selected the right thing.
Yeah.
So we've chosen. We can see it works for that, but now we need a decent TypeScript question, right? Although having said that, you know, I've just seen an issue with this, right? Actually, let's go to the question editor questions and edit this question. So we don't specify the language.
Yeah.
So how do we know which interpreter to use?
Ask Kiro.
No, but I'm just saying is that this seems a gap, right, in our data.
But we mentioned it in our design, so maybe it forgot to add it, right?
Because so I think let's have a look at our data model.
Yeah.
Assets. Question. So it should be there, and it's not.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the actual. Well, maybe I need to delete the database and let's have a look. Question.
Should we regenerate everything, you think?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, so.
No, actually, it's.
So it's there. Code. So it's there, but it's not in the UI.
No.
So let's have a look. Questions. Constraints, hint, options. Yeah, look, programming is not there. So okay, so that's a simple fix, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so what we say is from the admin UI, when we test a question, the field is called code programming language is missing. Need to add this so that when we use the evaluation service, it knows which evaluation sandbox to use. So we can this should be a reasonably easy fix, right?
Yeah. The field is already there. We just need to have it in the front end side.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, this is why I like working locally, because it's you can fix these things really quickly, right? When you're running locally, and this is why SQLite as well. I mean, I know. So I'm not sure whether you've got a strong opinion. You know, whether you use ORMs, you know, like SQL Alchemy or Hibernate, or whether you want direct access to your database through the kind of the data objects within the code. One gives you more flexibility, right? But what I really like is why I like ORMs is that because they make doing these kind of fixes really trivial. So this is why I do like. But you know, I definitely see the reason why a lot of people prefer to have direct access to the data as well, right? Actually, one thing, Sally, that you know we didn't mention is that we can see that, you know, we asked for metrics to be captured, right?
Yeah.
And we can see that now here, right, within the question bank. So as this gets rolled out, and as we see people playing it, we can generate a nice dashboard from the admin screen, right, saying, show us the tough questions that no one's getting right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that could be a really good sort of piece or kind of way of finding or creating some content on that, right? Why are people getting this wrong, and then generating some content around that. Okay, so let's have a look. Is it working now? I think it's finished. 5 changes accepted. Let's actually see.
So right now with this data, we can create a content about what is the best color, because there was 2 wrong answers and 1 correct, you know?
Exactly. Oh, this doesn't actually have it still. Interesting.
Maybe we should mention that in the edit page, we should have a field as well.
So general knowledge, okay. Yeah, okay. So that's coding.
No, I think we have to say it deliberately. Okay. We have to say, like, for the create and edit pages, we have to have
add this to the create new question, edit question screens. The programming language choice is still not listed. Still not there. It's set from a template. Let me check the admin interface. Okay, come on, you can do it.
It's just a field. Come on,
exactly. Should
AI.
Come on, if you can't do this, it's like go home, right?
Yeah. If you can do it, please.
Come on, Opus. You see what happens. I've stuck with Opus, Sally, because you know that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Once you move something like that, right? It kind of just stays there, right? So
and it's not even, by the way, like 4.5 now. It's 4.6. You know, you're like, yeah. I will use the one that is out there.
Yeah, exactly. I like Sonnet though. I like Sonnet was my go-to, right? And Sonnet 3.7 for months. It was just so good. Oh no, sorry, not 3.7, 3.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now. Let's refresh. Let's edit.
Are you excited?
I am. Yeah. Right now. Okay, so now let's look at the data model. Make sure that the questions. So we got a type question. Someone's snuck in a type.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, let's have a look at that one. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, here we go.
It's super crazy. It's like,
look at that. So coding easy. Add 2 numbers. Correct answer equals 3. Well, this is obviously okay. Add 2 numbers. So result equals.
I'm really happy that it also created a drop-down list for the programming language as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we need a hidden input as well. So let's. Oh, I can't do the edit on that. So I'm gonna have to go into here, and actually before we do that, let's check to make sure that this hasn't broken the evaluation logic, right? Because we need to make sure that it's not gonna break anything here. So result equals.
Let's see. You know, like, you shouldn't doubt, man. You shouldn't doubt.
No, I'm a positive person. I've got every possibility. Yeah, there we go. Look.
All right, perfect.
Well, you know what? It didn't generate that error this time either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Second time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's always the second time it generates that error.
Maybe it says, you know, like, I did it already. Why are you pushing this?
So I'm gonna do something different as well. Let's see. S1 computation equals S1 minus S2. Computation. Let's see if that works. That worked. That said yes.
Can you just do S1 minus S2?
Okay. Yep. S1 minus S2.
Yeah.
Should fail. Yeah. because it had because we've asked it for always the result. Okay, right. So it's good. We know it works, right? So let me just
one problem was like the question answer was hackable before, right? So if I write result equals true, would it say true?
So what do you mean the question was hackable?
So like if I say result equals true now instead of saying -1 -2, would it work?
You mean like that?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
No. Okay.
But remember, okay, so all that's happening, okay, is we're copying the contents of this field into a Python function.
Yeah.
Right. So and interestingly, we're providing a number of inputs, right? The hidden inputs as well as the inputs we get from the hint, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really hard code the answer. We learned that from the Q Dev challenge, right?
Yeah.
So let's add two numbers in the format of X and Y. Let's see if this works. I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to work, right? Because my TypeScript knowledge is just non-existent, right? So let's try.
I don't see the question, so let's see.
Yeah,
let's
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you.
Okay,
I'm going to show you, right? So why is it doing? Why is it doing? It's not letting me. Why can't I escape from this? Yeah, it's not letting me escape from this. It's weird. Questions. Okay, let's do that. And let's do test questions. Oh, okay, it's because I've got to do that. That's why.
Okay.
Right, okay. So result equals. I don't know how you would do add two numbers in Java in JavaScript. I'm guessing it's going to be.
Yeah, it's like simple, like +1, +2, but like I think we need a hint. What is the number that is like what is the number variable? Okay, it's X and Y. So we should do X plus Y.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think this wouldn't work. I think it would expect us to create a function. So you should write something like function result.
Okay.
And
function result.
And you should create a parenthesis
like that,
not the regular one, not the curly one. I don't see it yet. And you should write X, and I wonder if it's going to complain if we don't put the types. Anyway, you can just say X, comma Y, and then you put the curly braces on and off.
Yeah.
And click on enter, say return X plus Y. You need to write return in the beginning of it.
Oh, return as in right here, return.
Yeah, exactly. You need to write return
and then do that.
Yeah, that's not necessary, but sure, that should be fine. And
so then basically here we just basically put function equals result. And then
there is a part I don't know. Like I don't know what it's expecting from us. I would just remove the result line and see what
it's always so we've configured it so that it requires result, right? Result equals is what it's going to parse. We can try, right? Let's try that.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, I would put result equals to the function then.
Yeah.
Let's do like result equals to the function, so maybe it sees as a text.
Maybe we just basically
exactly. Let's do that one. Yeah, just paste that one.
Yeah. X comma Y, return X plus Y. That's it. And
after X plus Y you can put a semicolon.
Hang on, it's not right, is it? Because I've got a function result equals Y.
No, this is true, but you just need to add a semicolon after. Here. And no, after Y. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not there.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. I don't know.
I don't know if that's going to work. So yeah, this is so. Let's see if we can get thing to help us with this, right?
Like what is the, like, for example, do we have the answer to this? What is the
Yeah,
answer?
I think
Yeah.
I mean we need to have a better understanding of how
Yeah.
it's parsing the logic, right?
Yeah.
We are trying to create a test type script
Yeah.
question. Okay, can you provide a simple test question and test it to make sure it's working?
No.
Okay, let's have a look.
Also, the, like, let's add x plus y is like, I don't think it will work.
Yeah, okay. But I'm wondering whether the actual code is actually thinking it's actually, because look,
Yeah.
the wrap code is Python. So I think the problem is it's always doing Python. And that's the
Like,
problem.
here's
Look,
like,
this is the problem, right? Look, run
yeah.
sandbox test. It's then wrapping the code always in language Python. So I think we have to go back now and tell the evaluator there's going to be 3 possible languages. I think that's the problem. So
Okay.
I think here, look, code programming language X. So use the okay. Let's actually
Yeah.
we need a test question anyway, right? So
Yeah.
we need a test question.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Images are built. Let me test the sandbox runner directly. So this is good because actually, what should happen now is Kiro should realize there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It says it's false. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh look, read only prevents TCX from creating its temp directory. Ah, okay.
Okay,
Right.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's good. It's good, right? So it's debugging this for us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, hang on, what's going on here? It's actually from source. Yeah, but it's running in Python again. Look, it's
TypeScript sandbox works. Let me test the. Yeah, let's see if the evaluation passes.
yeah. I mean, all tests pass.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so 2. All right.
Because it shouldn't, in theory, it shouldn't work, right? Because it's trying to run it. Okay, there you go. Look, working end to end. Here's a sample TypeScript question you can create. Coding easy question. Just write TypeScript code that takes 2 numbers provided as global variables and stores their sum in a variable called results. Our correct answer equals const result equals x plus y. I also fixed a sandbox runner. It's read only. Okay, let's see this in action then.
Let's see. I'm very doubtful about this.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Let's have a look. We got okay. Here we go.
No.
So let's do.
So 2 numbers
First of
and
all, let's do.
returns.
I'm going to do result equals rather than const. Result equals x plus y, right?
I think it will say no, but let's see.
No, it works.
I said yes. Okay.
It worked.
Yeah.
So-
True.
So
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
X minus y. Failed.
It doesn't care. Oh my god.
So it works.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
man. It works.
Yeah, but like, can you go back? Let's try something. Can you go
Okay.
back to the
Yep.
simple browser and write the result that it like? I want to try 2 things. One is like, can you write result, keep the result, but on the right hand side of the result, instead of x minus y, just write const result equals x plus y.
Const result
equals x plus y.
How do you have 2 equal signs though?
That is the problem that I see here though. Like, how are we going to write, like, this is like, how are we going to write a function?
So you can write a function. So let's do we create a function here, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it Sally.
Let's call it add or something. Yeah.
Okay. And it's basically it's x comma y.
Yeah.
Right. And then you said open brackets curly like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then x plus y.
Yeah.
Like that. Is it semicolon now? Is it? And
yeah, exactly.
And then that. So then basically it should just literally be.
You should say return as well before x plus y.
Oh, sorry. Return x plus y.
Yeah. Return, exactly.
So function is basically Sally, and that's it, isn't it? Sally.
Can you run it? I don't know. Like, I'm very doubtful.
Would that work? I mean, if let's actually let's tell you what. Let's I don't think I've got Node running here. So in theory, if I create a file with that, it should just return. Well, I've got to add. I've got to put. The reason why it's not going to work though is we're just calling Sally with no inputs, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the part. Like,
that's
why?
the problem,
What
right?
is the?
So we have to do that, right? So that's how we have to do it, and then we call the function.
Can infer it? Sure. Can you run it now? I don't think that you can infer it.
I don't think it's going to work. Oh, it worked. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm a TypeScript guy now.
Can you change from Sally to Ricardo, for example? Yeah, that one. Yeah, just write Ricardo and submit.
We fail because we've not defined it, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay, nice. I just want to be sure. I just want to know. Like, okay. Yeah.
So okay. So we're getting somewhere, right? Now. So let's say for example, because obviously ultimately we're getting people to try this out, right? So how would I solve this programming question? Nope, I can't do that, of course, because I can't copy and paste. But luckily for me, I can actually do it. I can do it outside the browser. Luckily, so let's have a look at that.
So for people to understand this, like which model or which AI component, if we are using at all,
so we're not.
Yeah,
this is the key thing, right? So this is so here's what it's returned, right?
Yeah.
This is what Kiro. So let's see if that worked. Oh, I can't paste that in there though. So I mean, to be honest, it's kind of similar, right?
This is what we have written is more JavaScript than TypeScript. The reason is like
number.
Now we define the number type here, and we mentioned that number means we're returning a number.
Return.
Then we do x plus y.
Plus y.
Yeah. Semicolon.
Semicolon.
Yeah.
And then basically result equals sum.
Yeah.
XY. It's got there.
Yeah.
Okay. That should work.
It's at const result.
Yeah.
Can you write const in front of the result and see what happens?
I mean that's maybe it'll work.
I think it should work. Yeah, it works. It works. Well, it should work, but yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe what we need as well is to help us when the actual game is running. Is we should ask it to write the stuff out to the log, to the console, right? So that basically okay, let's first of all, so we're running. Okay, so fantastic, this works great.
Do you want to try the Java as well?
So yeah, let's do a Java. Let's create a Java one. Okay, right. Oh look, just say thank you. Fantastic, this works. I need 1 credit.
Yeah.
Because I'm Opus, right? So folks, do not thank. Do not unless you're feeling generous. It's like the tip jar, right? We're giving Kira the tip jar. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we've done.
I really like that. For the emoji, probably we paid extra.
Can you create a similar example for Java? And actually, what was good? I mean, you could see there was definitely like a 2-second delay, right? When we were asking the evaluation. So we've got 2 seconds for Python, 2 seconds for TypeScript, and I suspect that the Java one might be a little bit longer. But we'll see. Right. So let's have a look. Is it actually? Let's have a look. Refresh. Questions.
I'm curious how we are going to run the So we create a solve method that takes a JSON string input containing 2 numbers.
Oh look, it says here. Look, the Java example is more complex since Java needs full class structure.
Yeah, but it is not like normally. Here's what we should have written. Like the function should be int sum open parentheses int x, int y, and return
Yeah.
x plus y. This is what it is. Like,
Oh
I
look, it's now
expected
it's
them to.
auto compacting, so it's holding that
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
right
yeah.
though, because this is quite a straightforward like kind of situation. So
Here, what it does is like it does not parse the information, but it says, "Hey, write a function that parses and returns the information format." Normally, this is the part we should have been automating. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
But we can see some
here we
errors
should
here.
do
Look,
better.
running. We got some errors here. God,
Yeah,
a JNI error has occurred. Please check your installation to try. So JNI, for folks that aren't familiar, JNI is how
yeah,
Java interacts with
yeah,
non-Java entities, right? So
yeah,
if you want to call a binary in C or something, that's when JNI kicks in, or Ginny, or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Um,
JNI, come on.
JNI is what I use, yeah.
Yeah,
So let me pick up where we left off. The Java sandbox is failing because it uses JRE image instead of the JDK. I did wonder that actually, because it can't compile, right? It's
yeah,
all so
yeah,
it can only run.
yeah.
So we have to
Jerry
reload.
Java's runtime environment, and JDK is the development kit.
Yeah, yeah.
Generally, JDK has inside a JRE that is making the runtime and compilation possible.
Yeah, but look
But
at the size of the image difference, right? So
yeah, of
this is a
course.
much bigger image, and
Yeah,
because we're compiling it, whereas TypeScript and Python are interpreted
yeah,
languages, right?
yeah.
This is why it's gonna take slightly longer to run, which is fine, okay? Because obviously, Java is a brilliant language, right?
Yeah.
And don't let anyone, if you hear people try and take Java down, then walk
No,
away,
no.
walk
The
away.
world runs on Java.
It does
The world
exactly.
runs in Java. You can
Yeah,
try to hate it as much as you want, but the
yeah.
world runs in Java.
Java has been there through the
Yeah,
test of
yeah,
time. It's
yeah,
taken
yeah,
on all the haters, right, and
yeah,
still come out stronger, right?
yeah.
So
It is alive at the end.
it
It
is,
is
it is.
alive.
Okay, so it's still doing it.
Yeah,
The volume mount might not appear to be working as expected.
yeah,
So I think actually doing the Java sandbox
yeah.
is more difficult. Because there are more moving parts here, right?
But it's good.
Um,
It's good that we are like
but
tackling
we're
this
testing
as
it
well.
out,
Yeah,
right? But
exactly.
I've got a feeling that
Yeah,
that we're close. So and
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
this is great because what we'll now have is we'll have at least the kind of the game engine
yeah,
that allows us to do the coding questions across different languages, right?
yeah,
And we can try things like trying to delete the file system and do naughty things. We can ask to do some to test some of those edge cases
yeah,
that we're specifically protecting, right? Because
yeah,
I think one of the things that we will need to put in from the point of view of I guess try catch blocks on somewhere. I don't know where this would go. Was what happens if that container image dies, right, or disappears, right? And it's going to have to be in here,
yeah.
in the back end side of things. So okay, here we go on my temp.
By the way, I just remembered like Java will be 31 years old this year. 31.
I know, and I was there when it was launched. Okay, I still remember I was at a Novell Networks conference,
Yeah.
and Sun Microsystems had a big stand, and they had the original Java logo. James Goslin was there, and it was the new big thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was. I thought it was amazing. I absolutely thought, wow.
Yeah, it is one of those languages that change lives. It changed my life for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, without that, I wouldn't be able to write Android apps,
Yeah. Although Android's kind of Kotlin, isn't it? Which is like
Right now, it is Kotlin, but when it started off, like until 2018, it was fully on Java.
Oh, was it?
Then,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
And in 2018, the bare minimum support came in because of there's a drama behind it as well. And as you know, I love myself a good drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, the reason that they moved away from Java to Kotlin is because Oracle was pulling a lot of strings on Google, and they were relying a lot on Java. Luckily, Kotlin does not, and that's why they moved to Kotlin. And I love Kotlin as well because Kotlin's user experience is very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually I wrote an article in one of the Java magazines about the Amazon Prime video team who moved to Kotlin because they really loved the developer experience of Kotlin, and they were able to increase the code velocity and quality just because they moved to Kotlin.
Yeah, there are some like great simple touches that they do, even with the like data classes and so on, that they brought in the extension functions and everything. The Lambda, it came very later to Java. It was there already with Kotlin. All of these were very big pluses for many users out there. And I think they didn't know how important it is to the users until they started to use it. So overall, I'm like, I was very lucky and grateful that I was able to use Kotlin in a lot of different projects back then. And I still think it is one of the most like, really beautiful languages that you can write some, say, Java runtime programs on.
Cool, man.
Token is missing. Come on. I have to bring this back.
So it's because we're calling the API. That's why.
Yeah.
The API actually is not in the in the M file actually.
Yeah.
But it will generate it anyway. So, oh, look at that. Why is it doing that? Okay. So basically, whilst we've been talking, Sally, what's happened is that it's been changing the evaluator logic for the Java code, right?
Yeah.
So specifically because of the mount points in the file system.
Yeah.
So it's got some additional code that's there as well.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. But it's still going strong. It's still going through the credits.
I really want to like see this working before we wrap up
exactly.
things, you know?
Because I think once we get to a stage where we've now got the 3 different languages running, okay, through the evaluator, we're pretty much ready now. So what I'm going to do, okay, is actually let's just Control Shift L. Let's have a look here. Control Shift L. Oh nope. What's going on here? What's going on?
That's a very long file. Yeah,
it is a long file. Okay, so let's see if that works.
All right, let me move us back. Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to from here. I've created a GitHub repo. So what I'm going to do, okay, is if we get this. Oh, you know what's going to happen? I've just realized what's happened. I've not seen this bug for a while actually.
I still have it. When the file is too long.
Yeah. So basically,
so
I need to. Oh no, actually, it's actually output leaked.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the past, you would actually hang the terminal, right, and you get a little error here saying pi host. It seems like they've done a much better job now of trapping that event.
Yeah.
But again, it's still.
I think they wait until it is timed out or something.
Yeah, but it's still not made it. So
yeah.
The process.
At this point, I just tell it to create a file manually without using the cat and everything else.
Oh, okay. Right. So you would actually just say write the file out and then run it rather than doing it directly through. Well, actually, it has actually done it. Look, it's actually right.
Yeah, that's why I said I would say do not use cat to the Kiro. Like
okay.
That's the issue here. Yeah.
So I say don't use cat to write files. Don't
just write it manually.
Files to the file system. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, it wants access to my file system. No, thank you. No, thank you. I will not.
Can I see your pictures as well, please?
No way. So anyway, going back to where we are. So I think we're very close now, and we'll keep going until we get the Java thing working. And then we'll what I'll do is I will effectively package this up in a Git repo. Make sure the README file is running okay. Oh, hang on, actually, it's running in the runbox. Match equals true. Oh, looks like we're getting there.
Okay.
Looks like it's actually doing something that's right. Fingers crossed. And then what we'll do is we'll then kind of go back to you, Sally, for the next episode, which will be on Tuesday. I think we'll be back.
Yeah.
And then we'll basically figure out how we can join the two together.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's exciting because
Yeah,
I think
it is. It is
I think
like
we've got everything we need. We've got the game engine. We've got
yeah,
the data. We've
yeah,
got the ability to test and validate all the different
yeah,
types of questions we've got in the logic
yeah,
in safe ways and using different approaches. Right, we're using generative AI for the
mhm,
general knowledge. We're using just deterministic ones for the multiple choice, and then we're using coding with sandboxes for the coding questions. So
yeah,
we're doing that all safely.
yeah,
And yeah, we can once we've hooked it up into the front end, I guess our first prototype is going to be ready, and then we can maybe host it somewhere and get people to do some testing for us.
yeah, yeah. I think we will do that. I think we will. It's really exciting,
Right. So
and
it
yeah,
says it's done. So let's have a look.
yeah.
If
Let's try it.
let's try it out. Test questions.
Yeah,
Okay. So what the question? The answer is right. Okay. So what's the answer this say?
just copy and paste. Like see what it answers.
I can't do that, can I? I can't do that. So right, is this the right answer for that? That's a lot in it. It's a lot of code.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, that's the one.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm gonna not run it here because I can't copy and paste.
Yeah,
So actually, what I can do, yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and share a different screen
yeah,
where we can try this out. So share the Quest screen. So this is a better way of me testing this out. And we got basically. Oh,
yeah,
hang on. Oh, we got the correct answer here.
yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's test the question just to make sure it works.
No.
But it doesn't have the result though. So okay, because I guess with Java we a return string value. So this is going to be interesting to see actually.
I
Because
think you. Yeah, I
yeah,
think.
wrong.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
yeah,
So let's go back to the questions.
yeah. It is literally the same answer that it asked for, but
Path JSON strong to extract X and Y and return their sum. Okay, so
but for example, string input, it says like, but the sample input and everything, they are not strings. They are map in the sense of.
yeah. So I'm gonna ask. See if I can get the actual because we did actually have the question within the actual the Kiro within the Kiro chat session, right?
Yeah.
We did have actually the answer, but I can't. So in theory, we should just be able to copy and paste that answer, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling through that at the moment to see if I can find it because that will just save us the time. But if not, I'll just ask Kira to regenerate it. Okay, so let's provide. Let's do a new session. So I'm in a different window, so you can't see me doing it at the moment. I'm just going to ask a vibe. Provide Java code in the format of result equals for the following question. So let's see what it does. Okay, here we go. Result equals right. Interesting. That's not how. Okay, that's not unexpected. Let's see if this works. Okay, question one. So basically, it's saying, oh,
All right.
So in the form of so that's not going to work, is it?
This might work. Can you run it?
So look, probably strong.
I hate this result. So this shows that the implementation was wrong.
Okay, let's try. Okay, is it doing anything?
We needed loading something.
Yeah, it's doing something, but again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually. I don't think this has worked.
Yeah. I think we can put a pause here maybe because I think the Java is way more complicated.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe Tuesday we can package thing.
Yes. Let's.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's. I think that's a good point. Okay, that's a good point. So what we'll do is we'll basically put kind of like just stop sharing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're very close, right? We've got basically TypeScript.
Yeah.
We've got Python.
Yeah.
Just our friend Java, right?
Yeah.
Well, just wants us to do things properly.
Yeah. I think we can do a good job with it. Java as well. Let's see if it works with the front, like the connection that we have. We can add the Java support additionally as well to showcase also how to move from MVP into the product. This would
Yeah.
show us.
I think that's a good point because
Yeah,
no, we want to ship, right? We want to ship,
yeah,
so
exactly,
we're
exactly.
we can add Java retrospectively and go through that process, right?
Yeah,
So let's do that. Okay,
yeah,
folks. So we'll see you Tuesday if you've
yeah,
been following along. Sally,
yeah,
enjoy the rest of the few days until next
yeah.
Tuesday, and we'll get this all hooked up together, and at least for TypeScript and Python, we'll be good to go, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll get Java and everything running. So,
Awesome.
folks, great. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye, folks.